Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Strakamar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. Last time we were going up the Doom Tower and I was showing how I got to gold, and we're going to be continuing up the Doom Tower. Since it's an entirely Force Affinity, we're going to be doing Force Affinity based stuff, Force and Spirit. And that's going to deal with it. Anyone see that damage? I swear, everyone who tells me Magnarr is not good is snoring on him. They're sleeping on Magnarr so incredibly hard. I can't emphasize to you enough how much people sleep on the Magnarr. He's like, oh, the pause. Oh, man, it was a Magnarr. I'm like, dude, do you know how many people want Magnarr? Okay, I want a Magnarr for every one of my accounts. I want a way to fuse Magnarr, but I can't. And it hurts. It hurts to admit it. Because Magnarr is an incredible character. I'm hoping to gear him better to really show you what he can... You see that? Did you see that? That damage from that percussive pound? Yeah. Granted, it's going to be even more when I can get Magnarr, Drexthar, and Rosin to the right gear threshold. The problem is my Drexthar and Rosin are not at the gear threshold I want them at. And that's the main reason I didn't get into gold. Is because I don't have them at that threshold. Because there's a very specific threshold you want, and they're not at it. Target that Warlord real quick. Because I do not want him in the equation. You don't want him in the equation. Get that out. Smack that Warlord. You do not want these Warlords getting a chance. As if they do, they will cause a lot of problems. This is mostly Spirit Affinity. We're going to want Magic Affinity in the cocktail. Magic and Spirit Affinity. I will eventually get Cleopteryx, but again, that's going to take some time. And it's going to take even longer for me to max her. Because yes, this account has yet to be visited by Cleopteryx. But it will happen. It will happen one day. Just give it some time. There's a reason I'm just going through here, decreasing defense and blowing up, because I want to get to the promotion codes and stuff, and if I can blow everything up in this tower, or most of it, I will. My main problem is I'm going to have to help Gnarlhorn at some point to get him past the Mortu floor. So there is that, but I want to get to that point first. The other account, it's kind of pointless to go to Doom Tower because the account is not in the right place to really do it. You need to have specific Great Hall, specific champs. In the early game, you need like Apothecary, Buff Steel. Like, you don't have a lot of strength in the early game in your Great Hall or anything. Like, you just don't. You don't have a lot until way later into the game. I'd say level 60 plus. That's what this tower should be. Level 60 plus. They shouldn't let people of this level get in here. Now, since we have some Xavias, I'm going to be putting in I'm just going to put in a nuke-ish setup. I mean, I will have to refine Rosin's build, but I feel like this will do. I'm going to stray for the Warlord. I have no mercy with that, because anyone who has a Warlord usually, but not always, usually has pulled enough Void Shards that they're already overpowered. Like, I have to really, whenever I see a Warlord, I have to go ham. Because Warlord is such a rare champion, and he's so difficult to deal with. I'm also going to do the promo code to see if it works. And maintain gold. Because I'm telling you, man, I don't want to lose gold. I don't. Perfect. Getting them all down. Clear them out. Perfect. Where are we at? Secret room 3. Let's put all the 60s in here. I will be upgrading other attack champs, but yeah. Let's see if we can beat it with this setup. I'm not saying we will. I'm only including Ninja in here because he's one of my attack champs and he controls with a freeze. He is completely replaceable. And my other account will have to not use Ninja, but if I have Ninja and he has a freeze, might as well use him. You do not need him. I repeat. You do not need him. So don't get your knickers in a twist that he's here. Alright? Get that freeze. Explode the burn. Well, you'll be happy about that. All those people that didn't like Ninja being there, you'll be happy to watch him die. Okay, get some fragments of Archmage Helmet. This account still hasn't made it to Akoth the Seared. Let's keep it up. Let's get rid of this Excruciator, I think. I'm not sure if it's an Excruciator or what exactly it is, but I can tell you it's a problem. think they're void. This lady. I think he's spirit. Yeah, he's spirit. Suzerain Katown. Unfortunately, they've got that revive on death. Which makes this a little slower, but not too much, because this account's reasonably experienced. It's not experienced enough to get into gold, but it can do Doom Tower. Not all the way to the top either, because I need some gear modifications. But it's closing in. Like, I think Deacon would be okay maybe in gold, this Deacon, but the Rosin and the Drex could both use some help. Yep. I'm hoping to get a magic affinity damage dealer that's really powerful other than Ninja. It's been a while. And I don't really consider Alexander the Sharpshooter his equal. I'm hoping to get someone like a Trunda or a Saito or something crazy. There we go. I mean, a Void Legendary wouldn't go amiss either, but I've only ever pulled one of those. I mean, I guess a Canderfon would work if I could get him. But again, that's the real question. Can I actually get one? Hopefully one day. Or even like a Norog or something. Block buffs, but it's magic affinity. That'd be a boon. I guess Ugo is kind of the answer for that on here, but I feel that Norog has some special properties Ugo doesn't have that I like. Now the problem here we have is these guys on the side are a problem. These Altans. And believe it or not, they're an actual problem. Because these Altans, if they get their move off, they revive. Which is never a good thing because it can make sure that their team is a problem. They can revive their whole team with that. Kind of like Sachi. And Altan does some pretty solid damage. He's actually pretty bloody scary, even here. Because He's an underrated legendary. He does good damage, he has good survivability, and good decrease attack. Like, he is a jack of a lot of trades. Let's give it a go. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but let's give it a go. I mean, it'll be easier than the third account, that's for sure. Third account is still a noob. And noobs are going to struggle in this tower a lot. Like, it might be possible right now, but just barely if I can get good old Blind Seer in the right situation. Then maybe. Trying to kill this Basher. Man. This is where the problems begin. Main thing is to try to at least his peril didn't do anything that time, which is good. Because you do not want to die to that peril, trust me. If you die to that peril, you're not coming back. That's one of the things that makes peril so scary. You can't die to it. You cannot die to it or you die. For good. Nobody can save you. That's one of the things that makes peril a very scary skill to deal with. I mean, I have a Mortu, but I can attest to this. I can't out Mortu the Mortu on top of what because I showed you that. I can't out Mortu him without some very high stats. I have to find gear on Mortu that will make him really strong. Basically make him durable enough to do some havoc. Now, this is a magic affinity. So we're going to want, I'd say, force affinity. We're going to try this combo. If not, we'll do some other stuff. Trying to get these out of the way. Blow them up. Trying to remove the Spirit Affinity nut bar out of here before he wrecks everything. One thing that's useful about having a lot of cleansers is that if you're in a team with poor affinity, you can deal with it easier. And that's one of the things that makes it better. I'm going to check my email. I'm going to save the... Because this is one team you can make. Now we will have to make other teams, but... This is one team you can make. Get all the poison off. Go blow up the poison. Get them on fire again. Get more heals. It's a triple cleanse team, but we also technically have a revive. This is a non-Scylla the Drakes team. Scylla the Drakes, I do have her on this account, and I did bring her to 60, but she's not necessary. You do not want... Glad I timed it, because you want to time your cleanse. You want to time your cleanse when you know that her sacrificial ritual, or sacrificial lamb, got Elder Scrolls on the brain. When her sacrificial lamb... Because I've been getting into Elder Scrolls Online again. Because that game was big for me. It still is in a way. Because it was my first online major game. It started it all with that. Like, it was really valuable to me. So that's why my mind is drifting off to Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, we're going to want to cleanse that. I'm sorry. I do not want to risk. I do not want to risk those poisons. Because the later in this fight you get, the more dangerous those poisons become. And the more likely that if there's poisons, we're not going to survive. Go, detonate those poisons. Get some more poisons on you. I don't know. I don't want to risk anything when it comes to this boss. I really don't. Now, how are we doing on missions? Okay, well, we're going to repeat that boss. This time with a different setup. I don't want to put Magnarr in here, though. I mean, you could include Ninja in this, but he doesn't have lifesteal. HP burn is always really useful versus this boss. Hello? Okay. That was weird. Who do I want to include? Probably people that are more budget, right? Like, I could include Visix maybe, or... You know, I'm going to feature some Husk. I don't know. I just want to get some good teams in here. Thing I like about that move, it has a lot of stuns in it. Stuns are always really valuable. One day the game will get me a bad Alcazar. That or a Lord Shazar. Either one. Either one will do, honestly. Either one will do, but for now, no. I just have to keep grinding until eventually it shows up. Now, I'm only going to do this like this because he's rank 6. Double Kale would work in this too, and I probably will show that, as well as the fact that I will be gearing the Kale in full Savage. Now, we're going to want to clear that out. This is when we use the Sacrificial Lamb. Notice how much poison that gives the spider. Yeah, you're going to want to go for... Get a Retaliate on there, not bad. You want to save his Acid Rain for the Spiderlings. It's definitely who you want to save it for. Because the Spiderlings are a major nuisance. I'm clearing them off at the first. Once the poison's actually on there, you want to clear it off ASAP. You do not want that poison to remain on your team, if at all possible, because this poison buildup. Anyone see that damage? Yeah, enemy max HP is pretty dang good versus Doom Tower. Bosses. Because Doom Tower bosses have a lot of health. Let's be honest here. They have a lot of health. So drain that. Yeah, I'm just going to cleanse it. I am not risking that. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't want to risk randomly losing to this dumb boss. I really don't. Okay, let's use it with some better or different champs. Let's go triple cleanse. Let's see if we can make a more standardish team with Force Affinity in it. We'll chuck her in. I don't have 2 Spirit Hosts available. I do have Achak. I don't know how good Achak is versus this boss, but we can find out. There's a reason I'm doing this. I'm trying to get my quest done before the reset. Because the reset is not as far as you think. Never as far as you think. Now, normally, when it comes to this, there's a reason I'm doing this. There's also a reason why I'm not using that other skill. Is because I know that number 1, he won't kill the Kale anyway. Number 2, this poison will put an end to him. So we can transfer all that poison, get a decreased defense. Now the big thing about this fight that makes having triple cleanse or at least double cleanse important is the fact that this boss, the amount it builds up on your team of poison is highly significant. See, she was one turn off. If I had hesitated, the spider might have spit at me and killed me. Because once it detonates the poison, that's a lot of damage. You usually, typically can't afford taking that much damage unless your team really is tanky or has block damage or both. Block damage is usually required to survive it exploding poison. Block damage or unkillable buff. That is how evil this boss actually is. Because it may seem like a nice, placid, large spider, but in reality, it is an incredibly nasty killer. So, I'm going to do some Griffin. This is like a budget team. I could make another team. But again, you do need... Oh, I've got an idea after this. It's a sinister idea, but it might just work. Because this one's relatively safe because we have Reliquary Tender as the backup. But what if we were to go for a more daring endeavor? Which I will try next. The thing is, this boss doesn't look threatening now, but ends up becoming one of the most threatening bosses in all of Raid. That's the funny part. You might not see it now, but when you do see it, you'll be gasping. You'll be like, what? And I'll be like, because this boss evolves. It doesn't stay the same way. As you can see, it's already doing something, but this isn't. This is not what it can do. What it can do, you don't want to know. But you will know eventually when we get there. Hopefully. So what we're going to do to make this even crazier is we're going to shove in Apothecary. And now it's all non-void rares. But it's like I said, it all starts to crumble downhill the second you get into the... Now, all of these are hatchable from mystery shards. 3 are farmable. 1 is a... you can get them from mystery shards, which is where I got them from the first time. But he's... he can also get them from Ancients, Apothecary. And he's highly useful here. The risk, obviously, of this team is you don't have as much cleanse. So you have to be more aggressive and at the same time careful to time your cleanse perfectly. Because... without that, you're going to get wrecked. Tired today. Because I stayed up a lot of the night. You didn't see all the stuff I did last night because I didn't even stream all of it. But it was a lot. Okay, perfect. I'll gladly take that. Now let's put in promo code. There we go. And let's just do that for all of my accounts before it expires. How's that? Let's just do that now. Because I don't... This 3 years raid code... You don't want that to randomly expire. That would hurt. No shards. I would have liked an ancient or some mystery shards game. I mean, I like the legendary book and the energy fuel. Energy fuel is very valuable, as is... Well, multi-battles are okay. The main big use of multi-battles, by the way, is for managing multiple stuff accounts at the same time. I'm not saying I don't do that, but that's what its main use is. Now, I'm going to try it on here. This account's a bit young. I don't know if it'll go, but I'll see. I'll see. This is going to be the youngest account I've attempted that code on. Let's see. Okay, it works. I thought this account would be too young. I was concerned. Because the code only really works for young accounts. But apparently this account is just old enough. I was farming these. 3 hours we can get him. I'm going to wait for the reset on that. Might as well any metals you can get. If you see something with metals on it, it doesn't matter what rank you're in, just go for it. Don't wait. Seize the day with that. Hell, I'll even seize the day again. I'll fight these bozos and see what happens. I mean, we may not win, we may win, whatever. I'm going to give it a go. Should have put the shield up. Increase the attack. The reason I put the shield up, by the way, is just so I can try to survive. Good, the ninja's dead. This setup is very ham, but has nothing to fall back on. We're just going to use the revive real quick because I'm concerned that Elhain will cut in and kill us all. But yeah, you don't want to ignore Arena. Even at this phase of the game, you don't. Because ignoring Arena... Okay. So... Here I'm going to try a bit of a messed up setup. Hopefully... we can actually make some progress here. Early game, this stuff is a nightmare. I want to make that clear. Because, as you can see, these champs are very buffed up. And as you can see, without all those Great Hall bonuses and decreased defense and stuff, you can see why this might be discouraging. I might beat one floor from here on out, and that's if I'm lucky. And that's if I'm lucky. This is the difference of having an early game versus a late game squad. As you can see, we're definitely having issues. Note how much weaker we are. This is why I don't recommend doing Doom Tower early. Because Doom Tower is hella difficult. We'll be lucky to get past the first wave. We will be genuinely lucky. Because I'm telling you, this place is not a noob dungeon. Because it's not a noob dungeon, it makes this extra difficult to do. Because when your Great Hall is rubbish and your gear is pretty bad, you're not going to do much damage. And this shows here just how much that makes a difference. Note how hard this is all of a sudden. Take a note. Just take a note. The only reason we're even able to do this is because I've been upgrading my champs. Note how hard I have to work to make this happen. Note. This is the curse of the early game accounts. This is what it feels like. It feels like trash. As you can see, we are lucky if we get through here at all now that we're on this new bass account. Because all that Great Hall bonuses and everything are not here to save us. None of the vast amounts of experience and strength we had before, none of that is here. And only pain. Unless you somehow magically get a Madame Ceres. You see how bad this is? And even with Madame Ceres, it's still a nightmare. Because your survivability won't be enough. The resistance is also much higher, and you can tell how high the resistance is by can we even last long enough to do this? This is the problem. This is why doing this early game is extremely painful. This is why. This is why I just don't have the power yet. You need to have a cohesive team to do it, and this account just does not have that team yet. Does not have the cohesive team needed. Does not have the cohesive team needed. Like, literally, this is what it takes, man. This is what it takes. And even then, I then have to equip her. And that's going to be a nightmare. Give her the... I don't want to give her an attack banner. Man. See, this is the problem with Doom Tower at an early game. Even if you do that, I still doubt we'll make it. I highly doubt we'll make it because we just do not have the Great Hall. We don't. We just don't. I guess we can give it another shot. Oh my god. Alright. I hope everyone understands why I'm even bothering to hesitate. So that this is a literal nightmare. Comparatively. This is the dark reality of being a new player in Doom Tower. See, the other accounts can do it, but they're not new accounts. New accounts are going to struggle extremely hard. Like, I already screwed this up. It just feels pointless. It feels pointless at this point in the game, almost. It almost feels pointless. That is literally the problem with I'm gonna try something just out of sheer copium, just because it's just this difficult to do anything versus them. You know? Because it isn't a problem once you get the Great Hall and stuff going. But when you're in the early game like this, it's an absolute nightmare. Like, there's literally like almost 0 point because everyone's too tanky and you do no damage and your survivability is rubbish and everyone just shreds you like tissue paper. Like, there's just almost no point. Like, you need everyone at 6-star, by the way, pretty much, to even... Everyone at 6-star with improved Great Hall. Literally what you need. If your Great Hall isn't significantly beefed up, there is literally no point, almost, in doing this tower. Your Great Hall and your stuff has to get beefed. It's the only way. And a lot of newer players won't understand the value of that Great Hall. There's a reason why I shoved my other account to gold. And on top of that, gearing is also a big problem, because at this stage of the game, our gear is nigh garbage. So it's a combination of bad Great Hall and bad gear equals if I get back here, if I get past this, it'll be a miracle. Just letting everyone know that. Does not help that Valerie has stupidly long cooldown. Like, Apothecary even would make this doable. But since we don't have Apothecary, we're screwed. Pretty much. Without Apothecary, without all those stats and buffs, and I just don't see a point. I'll have to come back when I have that. That's just how it is. There's no getting around it. We'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of time, shards, Great Hall, stuff like that. And there's a reason, and I'm just going to close this point out, and I'm going to make it very poignant for everyone. Very poignant. Right now, if your account is at a certain point like this one is, see how it's in gold 1? You want to push to gold 1. Why? You want to maintain it. Why? By any means. Why you want to maintain this? Because if you don't maintain your Great Hall, or at least try, you're in for a very bad time, because you won't be progressing your account. So always remember that. have a feeling that these people just got out of silver. But it doesn't matter. I'm farming them anyway. Because I want the points. That's why. If you're smart, it doesn't matter how vicious the team is. If you're smart, now's the time to shove. Give me those delicious gold medals. As much of it as you can. Do it now. I just did that as an example, but do that now and forever hold your peace. In the meantime, I might as well try to ascend good old Ultimate Gallic. And while I'm at it, get him to 60. And get his gear up to par. There we go. I'm not going to attempt Spider yet because he needs some additional help. I'm going to go with HP and accuracy because you see, you want your HP to be high as high as you can go. And you want your accuracy likewise on Ultimate Gallic to be really high. Because you want that burn to land with as much effectiveness as you can on something like Spider 20. And then you want to turn meter control it, and I have to find and develop the options for that. I'm also developing food for these champs as well. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to do for now. I'm not going to go much further without farming. Because, yeah, you want high accuracy. His resist is a bit low. High health. Yeah. Well, anyway, until next time, like and subscribe, and follow my Twitch channel at Twitch Demon Vaporsmith. Because I could use it. And I will see you all then.